Hello. So I figured I'd make an annual video of the garden just to keep a record, because I'm not going to keep a book probably. I transplanted some rhubarb this year, but it didn't do so well, but it transplanted and it survived, so that's okay. I moved everything this last year. I had the potatoes in the far side over there, and then this year I put them on the close side. I've been busy this year, so I haven't been on top of the weeding and that kind of thing. I did a bunch of tilling today, but yeah, it's pretty much overgrown with weeds. It looks like all these sunflowers along here are volunteers. I didn't plant any this year. They just kind of came up on their own, so that was good. Similar kind of situation. We've got carrots and beets. I put parsnips in this year too, but they were a little bit late. This is the part that really got overgrown. I put peas in, but then because I wasn't on top of the weeding, they got overrun with weeds, and I might be able to salvage some, but not what I was hoping for. I was hoping to have a bunch this year. I seem to have a lot more weeds this year than I did last year as well. I also put beans in, and again, same thing. I got overrun with the weeds. Potatoes, I had lots of volunteer potatoes in this area. I harvested a bunch today because it was either harvest them or till them under. So I got about ice cream pail and a half full of baby potatoes, so that's kind of neat. The cucumbers, you can see there's one there. They really didn't do much of anything this year, so, but I don't know, they don't seem to like this rockier soil as much. Maybe the soil itself isn't as good. This year was an odd year because it was so hot May, and then it ended up being wet at the end of May and June, and wet and cool. So I had two separate plantings of beets as well. The second one, the row on the far right is about at least a couple weeks later, probably more. I spread out the tomato plants a bit this year. Again, they're kind of overgrown with weeds. I'll have to get in there and do them by hand. I put quite a few different peppers in because it was so hot earlier in the year. But we'll see. And again, I'll have to weed out in there. See if anything comes of it. I had quite a few volunteer tomato plants as well. These are onions along here. They look like they're doing pretty good. Some white ones and some yellow ones. I thought the ones at this end were more yellow, or more the yellow ones. And they don't seem to be doing quite as well, as far as not as big, but maybe they'll come along. And you can see how bad the weeds are. I think if I spend some time out here, that'll help. There's one of the volunteer tomato plants. Another one over there, a couple more over there, which is kind of nice. Just checking things out here. I also tried sticking some garlic that had been growing from the store. Just sticking it in the ground to see if it would take off, but they didn't really. They kind of looked okay at first, but then they died off, so don't know what the scoop is with them. Maybe I'll pull one out and yeah, so it's basically, I mean, in theory that's a bulb. Maybe they weren't getting enough water or something, but that's garlic. I planted some flowers this year too. Some of them, marigolds, seem to be doing pretty good. It took a while. It was the same thing as well with the sunflowers and the deer. They eat them. Put some lettuce in too, just to see what it was kind of like. Again, back to do some weeding thing. It may take me a while to get that stuff out, but that's okay. I'm not in a panic about that. Here's the radishes, of course. Well, I say of course, but they have all gone to seed. But that's okay, I just kind of let them. This year I could have pulled them up once they were done, but I didn't bother. I planted quite a bit more corn this year, but it didn't come up as well as stuff last year at this date, because today's July 9th. Last year, July 8th, I think they were all the size of this one over here. There's another volunteer tomato plant. Make sure he's okay. Yeah, this video isn't really for anybody but myself, so we can see the tops starting out in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of corn. So hopefully we'll get something out of it. Yeah, I found out this year that Teresa wasn't as impressed with the corn as I was, so I'm hoping it turns out and she's happy with it. But I did stick some cauliflower in just to see what it would do, and they're kind of coming up, but we'll see. I don't see any cauliflower tops, and of course it looks like the deer have been eating them as well. So okay, so the other thing I did this year, which was different, was I planted some pumpkins. There are some variety packs. Yeah, I just tilled all this up today, and it's a nice sunny day, but you see the soil is still moist underneath. Okay, hopefully I didn't till any under, but so there's, like I said, just some different types of pumpkins I planted. I could have done another till. Oh, actually, there's another spot where the marigolds are doing well. I know I got a pumpkin here someplace. I should have tilled this row a little closer to the pumpkins too. But yeah, some plants are doing really well. That one's got a nice color and everything. Others not so much. That one there is probably the one that's got the pumpkin on it. Trying to step on it here. Oh, excuse me. Well, I don't see. I saw a tiny little pumpkin the other day. I was trying to get some video evidence, but okay. Oh, yeah. See, these sunflowers are fine. Deer eating, deer eating, deer eating, deer eating, deer eating, deer eating, deer eating. There's a whole bunch in the grass back there too, but they didn't really take off. Okay. Trying to figure out where it is. Unless maybe it got eaten already too. The deer got at it, and it wasn't huge, you know, size of a tuning or something. There it is. Jeez. Oh man, well, we'll see if he takes off or dies or what the scoop is. So, like I said, I gotta get a bunch more weeding to catch up. But quite a bit different than last year, but that's okay. Again, here's the marigolds. Nice. I like the flowers in here. Oh, the other thing I did, of course, was now this is all part of the lawn, and a drive-through and a shelter there, place to park the trailer a little better. So that's my early July. Oh, the other thing I did, I'm going to quickly whip over here, is I bought a couple of grape plants and put them in. But I didn't know what was going to happen with them. Like I'm not even sure what we're going to find right now. But okay, here's the example. Yeah, see, it looks like the deer have been nibbling on the tops of these guys too. Okay, so here's one, but looks like it's not getting enough water. There's leaves on it, but they're shriveling. So I'm going to try to get some water on it. This one here, it's still alive, but not doing much. This one here is the same. I don't know if they need more water or more attention. My biggest thing about this is things have to be hardy. You know, and if it stops being fun, then I'm going to stop doing it. So, it still worked okay. Typical, you know, the far side of the garden seems to work better than this side. But I'll keep plugging away.